So the first kind of topic that Masai addressed, he opened the presser saying that there were no blockbuster deals to be made, which we'll talk about because there's been some reporting on what was available out there. And here's him explaining about the trade deadline versus making moves in the summer.
The way I look at the deadline, it's really not a great place to make long-term decisions, and that's how one of the ways we looked at it in terms of some of the things we were getting.
Yeah, so we've heard from the reporting, from Zach Lowe was saying that, the Grizzlies and Pacers both offered 3 first-round picks for OG Anunoby, and the Raptors wanted, at least a young player in return. Mm-hmm. And, Michael Grange of Sportsnet reported that, Milwaukee engaged in some discussions for Fred, and we're offering Grayson Allen and a first-round pick. And the Clippers never did make Terrence Mann available. Talks were around Luke Kennard, Brandon Boston Jr. So Masai saying that wasn't a blockbuster trade out there. There were some offers out there. Like, what do you make of those offers that were on the table? Especially the ones for OG, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, the OG one is more interesting than the Fred ones. The Fred ones are all definitive no's. Like, first off, why would you go out of your way to help the Milwaukee Bucks, who, if you are hoping to be competitive in the future, you will probably have to face the Milwaukee Bucks? Why would you go out of your way to help the Los Angeles Clippers of all teams, especially with an offer of what exactly, right? I'm not going to help the Clippers almost on anything if I'm the Raptors in that position based on the history between those two franchises. I mean, especially not helping them for Brandon Boston Jr. So I think for me, that one made sense to me, right? And I think that, again, if you are looking into the future, and again, they have, this is one of the deadlines. Remember we talked about 2 deadlines?
Yeah.
The other deadline is can they sign and trade some of these guys in the offseason, right? And that's where you think about when the Kyle Lowry situation happened, we were all anticipating that Kyle was going to move on. That time, the Raptors were clear-cut sellers, right? They were trying to get out of there, right? They were not able to move off of Kyle at the trade deadline itself, but they were able to work out a sign and trade. I think what that really requires is a level of trust between both the organization and the player, the trust from the player that you'll get them to the organization that they want to go to, and that you won't hold it up over some you won't haggle too much, right? And look, the Raptors at that time, when the Kyle Lowry sign and trade happened, it wasn't a blow your socks off kind of deal at that point either. It wasn't a blockbuster. It was Precious Achiuwa, who at that point hadn't shown too much as a rookie in a very limited role, and then Goran Dragic, who literally didn't want to be here, right? And of course, that deal looks better and better now because of the fact that Precious has been able to grow and blossom. But I do think that, yeah, some of those offers there, especially for Fred, I mean, you could probably sign and trade them to those exact same teams and get those exact same players back or equivalent value to those. So especially if you've gotten Jakob here to sort of see what you have, I mean, you won't make another big disruption like that, especially for very little upside. That's my takeaway. But what do you think? What do you think about the fact that they didn't really take the offers for the picks though for OG?
I think it tells me that they wanted to maintain winning right now as well. Right?
Okay,
I think based on the reporting, it suggests that they wanted a ready-made contributor to the rotation right now, along with picks to restock the cabinet. And so I think not being able to get that player, they said, you know what, we'd rather just have OG and, assess these 26 games, see what's what. And I think if you think about it big picture, how they seem to view their path to another title or at least contention, it's slowly tweaking. And, you just go back to last season when the Warriors were playing the Celtics in the finals. We specifically did an episode where we went through the players and we're like, hey, continuity is the key, right? Yep. And specifically in the case of the Celtics, right? How long did they stay committed and just tweak? And, think about the point guards that came through, whether it be Terry Rozier, Isaiah Thomas, Kyrie, right? And they were just
Kemba,
slowly just trying to figure it out, right? It's easy to look at the Celtics now and say, oh, wow, this is amazing. But it took time to get there, right? Even with someone like Jaylen Brown, who at a certain point, it's like, why didn't you use him in a trade for PG, for Kawhi, for Anthony Davis? And now they're here, right?
Yeah.
And so I think Masai, when he emphasized patience, I think it's clear that he believes in this group and he feels that it's more about making minor tweaks. Some of the selfishness that he talked about, it's more about understanding that they are mostly a young, maybe a bit immature group that will get through it with time and understand these things better. And so some of it is a case of just letting them grow.
Yeah.